channel, and today we are playing something pretty simple in honor of the bans that came out on yesterday, June 1st. If you don't know, yesterday Agent of Treachery and Fires of Invention were banned in Standard. It's not effective until Thursday, June 4th, but just to kind of celebrate, we're playing some mono green aggro here. Why mono green aggro? Well, in the future, Agent of Treachery won't be able to steal these creatures, and in this mono green aggro deck, we have absolutely no interaction. We just have creatures. It is just slamming out creatures every single turn and swinging away until your opponent is exhausted of finding, exhausted from either taking damage, and we get them down to 20 really quickly, or they exhaust their counter spells, or they exhaust their removal, and we just keep swinging with creatures. We have one Vivian Arcbow Ranger. I would bring it to 2, but I only had 1. The other Planeswalker we have is Jiang Yang Yu. This is just to throw +1/+1 counters on creatures, make them bigger, more scary. But mainly, our deck is, again, just made up of all creatures. We have Almighty Brush-Rag in the 1 mana spot. I would say you would probably want to switch this out with something like a Pelt Collector instead, but I don't. I only have 1 copy of Pelt Collector, so I just threw in 4 copies of Almighty Brush-Rag. I think as far as a 1/1 goes, he's probably a pretty threatening 1/1, as unthreatening as he might seem. And then in our 2 spot, we have Barkhide Troll for for a 2 mana 3/3 that's really powerful. I think in the aggro matchup, I think he shuts down mono red aggro pretty swiftly. And then for 1 mana, you can remove 1/1 counter from him, and he gets hexproof until end of turn. So I think that's a pretty powerful way to keep him alive. Next, we have Wildborn Preserver. It's just a 2-drop, 2 mana 2/2 that can grow infinitely as you put more things on the field. Also, the flash can be kind of helpful. Again, we have Jiang Yu. It's just a way to put +1/+1 counters on our creatures. We have 4 Lovestruck Beast. It gives us another option for a 1-drop. So you can use the 1 mana to create a 1/1. And then on turn 3, you can cast him, having a 5/5 on the field. And even if they've removed your 1/1, having a 5/5 on the field, I think is a 5/5 blocker on the field on turn 3 is pretty powerful. Next, we kind of get into the meat and potatoes. Probably my favorite combination in this deck. We have Yorvo and Gemrazor. Yorvo in the 3 mana spot, and Gemrazor in the one of our 3 4 mana spots. So if you're able to get a Yorvo out there on turn 3, and then you can, if you're able to mutate Gemrazor onto Yorvo on turn 4, you have an 8/8, and you can swing in with an 8/8. Not only that, when you do mutate it, you can destroy an artifact or enchantment that your opponent might control that is out there. And your 8/8 has reach and trample, so that's pretty insane. That's probably my favorite thing to do, is just on turn 4, you just get the 8/8 and you start swinging. Our next 4-drop spot is taken by Questing Beast. If you're doing mono green aggro, Questing Beast is absolute shoo-in. Next, we have Vivian Arcbow Ranger in our next 4-drop spot. Again, just a way to distribute some +1/+1 counters, make your threatening creatures that much more threatening. We have the Great Henge. Assuming you get a Yorvo, if you get a Yorvo Gemrazor combo out there, you'll probably be able to cast this pretty quickly. It's just more ramp, way to gain life, and again, just throwing more +1/+1 counters on your threats as you throw them out. Stonecoil Serpent is something that you can throw out in the early game, something you can mutate onto with Gemrazor, so a potential good Gemrazor target. But it's great for the multicolored protection. Reach and trample are great. If you cast it as a 1/1, that's fine. If you cast it as an 8/8, that's fine too. So, just something to either end the game or something to get out there early if you have no other better options. And then as far as our mana base, we have 24 total lands, 20 forests, 3 Castle Garenbrigs, and 1 mobilized district. And that's about it. For those of you who are best of 3 players, I do have a sideboard here. I have 4 ram throughs just to add a way to incorporate some interaction. If you're finding that you're getting run over a lot, and you're not dealing with their creatures when you're putting your creatures down, you can throw a ram through in there just as a way to deal damage. Get rid of some of their threats, their creatures, and then do damage to the person behind those creatures as well. And then we have some basic stuff here. Thrashing Brontodon, more removal for artifacts and enchantments. Might not be as necessary now that we have Gem Razor, but shifting Ceratops for protection from blue and it can't be countered. So you're fighting, if you're fighting some counter spells, you can do that. Karn, Voracious Hydra, more +1/+1 counters. Karn, I think, is great for shutting down abilities of artifacts. Things, if you're coming up against the cat deck matchup, this could be very good. Wings of Hubris to give one of your guys flying. If you can't break through the if you're both building up a wall of creatures, you can put this on one of them and give it flying, assuming they don't have flying creatures, or to kind of deal with a flying creature. Although Gem Razor does have reach, and so does the Stonecoil Serpent. Forgot the name. And the Sorcerer's Spyglass is just another way to fend off some of the decks in Standard that have been somewhat annoying lately. But I'm going to be playing this in best of one, and I'm just going to be playing this, and it's going to be very basic game plan. You're just putting some creatures down and you swing away. So without further ado, let's get in some matches. All right, our first opponent for the day is Mrory. All right, so we have 2 2-drops, a 4-drop, and the Great Henge. We'll stay true to our name and keep 7. I would like to see a 1-drop, but what are they playing? Luris? I wonder what our matchup is. Cycling? Mardu Knights. Interesting. So I think we throw the Barkhide Troll down, and we shut that Fervent Champion down. We draw into a Questing Beast, which is pretty nice. So we can put the Castle Garenbrig down, and then, if we draw into a Yorvo, that would be amazing. We don't draw into the Yorvo. We'll swing in with the Barkhide Troll. I mean, that's the point of the deck, right? Also, by doing this, he might swing with his Fervent Champion. We flash in the Wildborn Preserver, kill the Fervent Champion. And also this has reach, so that can take care of the Sky Knight Vanguard as well. So because it's a 2/2 with reach, I think we're going to play the Questing Beast here and be a little bit more aggressive. I could have put in the Gem Razor, but we're not going to. I'll say thanks. We'll swing all in here. Get them down to 8. So our next move is probably going to be mutating the Gem Razor in. And that's a scoop. I don't really know what he was doing by playing the Unbreakable formation, but maybe that was an oops, and that's why he scooped, because he wasted it. All right. Our next opponent for the day is Jack Salander. All right, so we have 2 Yorvos, which I don't like. Lovestruck Beast, which gives us a turn 1 and 3 play, and we have a turn 2 play. So we'll stay true to our name here and keep 7. We'll get the 1/1 on the field. Lovestruck Beast off to the side. We can play down our Forest. Okay. Interesting. We're not going to attack, and if he attacks with a Scorch Spitter, we flash in the Wildborn Preserver and kill his Scorch Spitter. And that's a scoop. Wow. Okay. Is that even worth putting in the video? Probably. We beat Mono Red. Alright, our next opponent for the day is Takeshian Takeshian. I think we've played this person before. All right, so we have a turn 1 play, we have a turn 2, we have 2 turn 2 plays, and a turn 4 play. Well, I guess a turn 1 play, a turn 2, a turn 3, and then a turn 4 play. So we'll keep this. Again, a Stonecoil Serpent for a 1/1 isn't great, but at the same time, it's a decent mutate target. Although Barkhide Troll might be a better mutate target, we can remove a +1/+1 counter. Give our Gemrazor hexproof. And our Stonecoil Serpent with protection for multicolored could block a multicolored creature. So we'll stay true to our name here and keep 7. I'm trying to remember. I played this person before, but I forget what deck they were playing. Might be hasty to play, a 1/1 creature, but interesting. Lovestruck Beast now. I think that might be the play. Swing in. Okay, so maybe this is Winoda. Oh, that was stupid. Stonecoil Serpent doesn't have protection from monocolored. That's an oops. Whatever. Good thing is the Legion War boss would just be throwing a 1/1 token into our Barkhide Troll now. Okay, so they claim the Firstborn. We're not going to block here. And they get their first swing in. I think we put a Lovestruck Beast down. We'll play a little aggressive and swing in with our Barkhide Troll. I don't think they're going to want to block. But now they're facing a 5/5 defender, and they have another one on the way. So we'll see what they want to do. I'm saving the Gemrazor, but I feel like I really don't need to. What do we kill here if they swing in? Okay, so they're just going for making a bunch of tokens, which could be decent for us if we have a bunch of 5/5s. So I think we block the 5 with our 1/1 here. And that's okay. We might draw into a 1/1. We're down to 5, which isn't super great. And I think we play out our Wildborn Preserver. We just get a wall here, because they've got to get exhausted at some point. They swing in with the 2/2. See if we can pull this off. I don't think we can. I think that's it. Okay. What are you going to do? Couldn't keep up with them. They were playing wider than we were, which is unfortunate, but hey. Sometimes it's a 50-50 flip with aggro. All right. Our next opponent for the day is Mad Mac Twitch. Mad Mac Twitch. So he's maybe a Twitch streamer. All right, so we have two. We're going to keep 7 here. We have a turn 1 play, we have a turn 2 play, and we have a turn 4 play. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Jesus, what is up with people playing mono red today? At least we have the Wildborn Preserver we can flash in to kill that Fervent Champion. Really? A shock? You're going to wish you saved that. The bad thing is there's 2 of them now. So they kill our Wildborn Preserver. But it will get rid of 1. Oh, no, it won't. It won't get rid of 1, so we're not going to block here. That's my mistake. Because with the 2 and first strike damage... And they had a flash anyway. Or they had a shock, I'm sorry. Alright, so this game's probably over. Isn't much we can do at this point. We can throw the 5-5 down and hope that they just run into the 5-5 and there's nothing else that they can do. And then their turn after that is probably Questing Beast. Active Treason, man. Okay. So, I'd say Questing Beast is our best bet. And then from there, we just got to try to stabilize, hope they don't have any more acts of treason. The good thing is it can't be blocked by... Okay. We have something that has reach. So I'm thinking we play Lovestruck Beast here. And we just attack with the Questing Beast. He's got to get 2 damage. He's got to draw into a shock. Why didn't you shock my face? This player's bad. This player's so bad. That's an oops. Oh, I would love to play. So I think we have to play the Great Henge here. So we can gain some life back. And then we can play Gem Razor onto one of our Lovestruck Beasts. We'll put it under. So it remains a 5-5. We swing in with Questing Beast. We are at death's door here. Didn't read the cards, did you? So, yeah. Oh, I don't know why I did that on the Lovestruck Beast. We don't have a 1-1 that we control. But we do have Trample, so that's nice. They should have just ended us with the shock. They were too focused on our 1-1s. Gotta look at face, bud. Chandra's Spitfire. Not gonna do you much. That's a scoop. Alright, so we should have lost that game, but we won. And we won't discount wins. So, there's another one. Damn it. Alright, our next opponent for the day is Takeshian again. Let's see if we can beat him on the second try. Are there just not a lot of people playing today? Jesus. And we're on the draw, which is not sick. We'll play Almighty Brushwag. We're okay letting that die. If he wants to swing in with the Scorch Spitter, he can. He's going to kill it with the Jaya's Greeting. I'd much rather him use it on that than a Barkhide Troll. Can swing in with Scorch Spitter. 2 mana 3/3 should be something that's difficult to deal with. Unless you have another Jaya's Greeting. A Lava Coil. Okay. I think you're going to wish you saved that, but I think at this point it's probably safer to put Stonecoil Serpent out there. If they just want to keep throwing their removal, they can. Legion Warboss. Okay, so we have the 3/3 Stonecoil and the 4/4 Questing Beast. I think our next play is I'd rather the Stonecoil Serpent die than the Questing Beast. We'll just make it a 5/5. Make a 5/5 Stonecoil Serpent. We'll swing in with Questing Beast. We'll play this nice and slow just so we have the blockers, because they're not going to swing in if we choose not to block. So we'll see what they want to do. Do they have another Lava Coil? Or do they draw into another Lava Coil? Chandra's Spitfire. So that could be a problem. Although we have the Stonecoil Serpent to block, which has reach. So if they want to swing in with that, that is fine with me. Some way to gain life here. Play out the Wildborn Preserver. It becomes a 3/3. And we will swing in with just the Questing Beast. Playing it nice and slow. Maybe probably a little bit too slow. We probably could swing in with everything. We probably should have swung in with everything there, because he probably would have had to have blocked. So he has the other Lava Coil. Okay, so we'll play out Vivian here. We'll play out Barkhide Troll. And we'll give it 2 +1/+1 counters. And that's all he can take. Goodbye, good sir. This game is over. So we get Takeshian back for beating us with mono red. So yeah, that's the deck. It's very similar to almost a carbon copy, except for a few small changes to a deck that was popularized by a streamer known as Rint, that he played in I think he got to Mythic with, and he played in a recent tournament, in the past couple months, and did pretty well. Again, Almighty Brushwag can be swapped out for Pelt Collector. Get rid of Jiang Yu Wildcrafter and replace it with another Vivian. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Gemrazor and Yorvo, you didn't really get to see that go off, but when it does, it's beautiful. And yeah, that's really the only change I would make. I mean, it's a pretty, if mono red is thoughtless, this mono green deck is that much more. I mean, it does take some nuance, especially if you're playing mono, if you're playing best of 3, and if you're doing what Rint did and got as far as he did, obviously that takes a lot of thought, and you got to be able to play around the meta and stuff like that. But if you're just playing this in casual like I did, you're just throwing creatures down, you swing in, you put that instant clock on your opponent. Things like Barkhide Troll, I think, are somewhat slept on. A 2 mana 3/3 is pretty strong. 3 damage can take life away pretty quickly, and if If you're just building creatures onto creatures and swinging in every turn, you know, a Barkhide Troll into a Lovestruck Beast is a pretty powerful, pretty potent combination, you know, especially if Lovestruck Beast can attack. So if you have like Almighty Brushwag, Barkhide Troll into Lovestruck Beast, or if you're Lovestruck Beast into Barkhide Troll into Lovestruck Beast, I mean, that's just incredible. That's a lot of damage that you can do in a very short amount of time. So I think mono green aggro as an archetype, I think, is a little bit slept on. I think this in particular is pretty well. I mean, you saw us going into casual and we went up against a lot of mono red and we beat them like almost all the time. We lost once, and it's because they were playing wider than we were. And most mono red aggro decks don't play that wide. Most mono red aggro decks are going for, you know, most of them are the Embercleave decks and stuff like that, or the Obosh decks, and you know, they don't play as wide. I think they had like 6 or 7 creatures, and you know, most of the mono red aggro decks play. They can get pretty wide, but not that wide, as wide as they were getting with the tokens. But yeah, it's a fun. I mean, it's a fun deck if you just want to play like thoughtless Magic. If you just want to throw, especially if you have things like play X amount of green spells or something. This is the perfect deck for that. You just throw out some forests, you throw out some creatures, you keep swinging, and you'll get those green spells casted in no time. So if you have that daily quest, this is absolutely the deck for you. Yeah, you're not going to be playing this on the ladder, probably. Maybe in lower tiers you could probably play this on the ladder and do pretty well, but in casual it's just a way to stomp down on some opponents real quick. So thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.